Hey everyone, we'll get started in just a minute or two. Dev, why don't you say a few words we can make sure they can hear you?
Um, my cat stole my warm spot. She is an evil little beast. Look, I stood up to grab one thing. My ass had not even vacated the spot for like 3 seconds before she immediately shuffled over and loafed in it.
Smart cat, at least.
She is a heat-seeking missile.
Yeah. Second here. Okay. Ready, Dev?
Ready enough.
Welcome to the WtW podcast. We're here to entertain, inform a bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark, who run with the will and produce Digimon on Blu-ray.
I'm DevQ, and I am fucking tired.
It could be worse, Dev. It's Groundhog Day, and I have the whole narration from the radio up in front of me, and I could have done that for my intro.
You should have.
I should have, but I chose not to.
It's okay, you can do it again on the time loop.
My favorite part of it is because it gets posted anytime there is a Groundhog Day. The multiple animals that do it, and Punxsutawney Phil has like the worst average out of all of them. His average is like 30%. It's worse than a coin flip.
I mean, you can always just bet against whatever's saying, then, it's, 70%.
That's true. How's your week been overall, Dev?
I want to go to a convention, and I don't want to be cold anymore.
I want to rest. I get to check in each night to find out if I have jury duty the next day.
Ugh.
Yeah, exactly.
Thankfully, I am excused due to medical shenanigans.
I'm supposed to be, since I moved. They have not yet decided if mine makes me eligible to skip or not. So here we are. And then moving on from that, episode 17 of Beatbreak, Antipathy. You okay, Diff? Sounds like you're falling over or something. Let us give Dev a second, since I'm assuming it's actually a headphone issue.
1 second. It seems that my headphones have died again
Yeah.
for some unforeseen reason.
Okay, we'll give Dev a second while I start with how the episode begins, which is a Koemon chase, or Mon. Fun little goofy guy, and him punching Gekomon in the head. And I like how tactics almost feels like they're becoming lazy now. They're just sort of watching now to show up and steal, which is
They're just there.
yeah, it's just funny because like the first time we see them, they like plan out what they're doing, and now they're just sort of sitting there watching like in a minute we're gonna go steal this shit.
Thing is,
So
like, initially, he decided, like, oh, okay, this is more efficient to, kill steal from others. But at some point, you have to think, like, okay, maybe we can actually go after bounties instead of just sitting here and watching the idiots chase things around.
I know it's just funny because this is the fourth episode where they've been around. The first episode introduces them as like competent badasses. Then the next episode we get the one guy whining because he actually got like hit. Then we get snowboarding. And then Shakamon and Hodoruko brag about winning. And then realizes, oh, Chirapmon harmed itself saving the kids. And then she realizes she knows the kids. Now, am I wrong, or do they not point out they're her siblings until a bit later?
They don't point it out until they're literally, like,
At
dragging him home.
Okay, that's what I thought. Because at first I wondered if I had missed it, because she clearly knows them. I just meant that I thought it was kind of weird. Like at some point they kind of just say they're her siblings.
Yeah, I was initially not sure, like, are you actually related, or is this kind of like you all came from the same
Yeah.
orphanage, kind of related?
And I will say this. When Makoto tells the kids Tropmon's a robot that protects people, Tropmon just desperately trying to do like the stereotypical robot voice. That
It's
was
adorable. Also, at this point in technology, they probably have robots that sound a little bit better.
maybe. And then Hotaruko wants to take them home. Makoto, the kids want to know about him because he's her colleague. And that's when she starts to freak out and she just starts to lie.
I mean, that's obviously the best thing to do to children, and apparently your parents.
Yeah. And then the kids invite Makoto over for dinner. The whole time Hotaruko is kind of like upset about her mistake. And somehow
Which
that's
is
what
apparently against the rules of tactics or whatever.
it's kind of funny though, where it feels like Makoto's being dragged for dinner, and then all of Glowing Dawn's just there.
Yeah, it's like, did they show, like, his backup? And it's like, "Makoto, where are you?" It's like, "Oh,
Although I
you're
will
you're
say,
eating food."
I appreciate the kids figuring out Pristimon is another one of the quote unquote robots, and Pristimon is trying to get the fuck away from them.
It's like the Tamer's Terriermon situation.
It's been the last few episodes have been hard on Pristimon.
She puts up with so much.
Yeah. Then we get Hotaruko's mother tells her to stop being rude in front of her friends, and then they mention, she skipped graduated college by skipping grades, which is not really how college works, but okay. And
Well, I
then
thought she got into college early by skipping grades, or was
I
I
I
misreading it?
I thought the wording was it sounded like she graduated college early by skipping grades. I think you're right. I think they just worded it oddly in that they worded it in a way that where it just didn't quite click the way it should have. But I believe you're right in what the intention was. And it's also made clear um, food's been vanishing, which we find out when the kids run in to show their new shoes, and Geckomon's also stealing food. And it's made very clear that Hotaruko's family does not know she's a cleaner. And I like how
Nah.
Reina does not care about any of this as they got takeout.
I mean, considering that they were dealing with
Yeah,
Tomoro exploding eggs
yeah,
in the microwave,
yeah. That's
this is like a fucking five-star meal.
and then this is where you get the good coincidental plot. Kyo contacts him about a job in that area regarding food theft.
It's like, hey, by the way, since you're there,
And also, no one's sure why it's after food instead of E-Pulse. They detail reasonably well that Hotaruko's dad passed without really giving us details. Hotaruko says, she won't be staying the night. She's a career woman. Her mom
hmm
tries to get her to stop sending money, and she makes clear she's just going to. Her mom kind of just wants her home more.
I mean, that's fair.
And then
But
we get
also, being a child soldier,
and we get Shakuman floating over, if they should tell them or not. And then it's made clear that when Shakuman was born, Hotaruko got kicked out of school for whatever happened at the time.
I want to think that she immediately picked up Shakamon and beat someone to death with its shell.
That would be good. And it's revealed she doesn't come home because of tactics rules. Better to keep them in the dark just so her mom doesn't have to handle it. And Shakuman points out the obvious: how long can it really be hidden? And then we get banging from the other room. Shakuman screams. And then before we see the culprit, eye catch with Makoto, and it's Burgermon, who has made a Shakuman burger.
Yeah. I've never had clams with bread. I wonder how well that would taste.
I feel like you could make a
Hmm,
patty out of it and it would probably work.
maybe.
And then it attacks with pickles. Because yes.
I said no pickles.
And then I like how they then are like, oh, they rush after the Burger Mom before the mom knows what's happening. Burger Mom's gone. So okay, so here's what's weird. They decided it must have used a boat to go out to like sea to hide, right?
Yeah.
They follow the
At
water
first
a
I thought
bit.
it was gonna be like, oh, maybe it's in the sewers or
No, then they follow the water a bit and they immediately find a mirror world portal like right above a boat. Like so it made like the whole explanation they gave kind of odd. Before
I
that
don't know,
though,
maybe like my guess maybe is that the portal's always there and kind of stationary, and then
no no no
Bergamon just
no, I know, but what I mean is they gave this whole story like they need to follow the river because maybe it has a boat or whatever it was they said, and like that didn't really have anything to do with anything minus to give them an excuse to follow the water.
yeah.
But before they find the boat, um, they talk while they're waiting. Makoto talks about the origin of the egg, wanting to help people, and Hodoroko's very upset by all of this.
Considering her situation, that's very understandable.
It is, but it's also like she's upset he's trying to help people. It's a bit weird in that she's upset. It's almost more like she's upset that he gave it up because it's what she wants.
Yeah,
Is
it's like
how
you had the actual fucking life
yeah
that me and my family have been trying for,
that's what it felt like to me.
and
Is that
you're just
like
so happy-go-lucky about running away.
yeah, and I think it's weird because and it's interesting because she doesn't necessarily know the correct situation. Like it's not like he left by choice. So it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see if she finds out more in the future and how that changed.
True.
Then as they jump in the mirror world to follow Bergamon, it's Burpmon. And it eats food and Shakamon. And interestingly, this is only the second Digimon we've seen that eats food. The first one being
Yes,
Geckomon.
that and Geckomon.
And is it weird that they don't like minus earlier in the episode when they say they aren't sure why food's being stolen. They don't really like no one's amazed by that like they found a food eating Digimon, even though they were like shocked that Geckomon did it.
I think it was initially that they weren't sure the cause of the thefts, and then we're kind of told, like, hey, we think it's a Digimon by, Kyo's information.
No, yeah, I know, but what I mean is like the idea that Geckomon ate food was like surprising to everyone.
Yeah, it's like Digimon don't need to eat food, but
Now,
yours is just a glutton.
yeah, now when we see one that eats a lot of food, there's not really much in the way of reaction to it. There is reaction to the burping out e-pulse to Burgermon, and they're like, oh, it's a symbiotic relationship. They help each other. And then Trotmon evolves to Night Trotmon to try to punch him, and spits a bone to block it. And then lots more bone. It's a very basic fight, but it's actually quite amusing, honestly. And then attacking with giant burger buns from Burgermon.
I'm surprised that Bergamon was this actually functional in a fight. Usually they're like, this is such a weak sauce little thing
Well,
that it
it's
needs other people to help it.
yeah, like all the Burgermon stuff I remember is basically it's standing around and looking at the fight.
Or cowering somewhere.
And then they beat Night Trutmon quite well. And then Hodoroku's like upset at them like being willing to defend, depending on friend. This is where it feels like it goes a little off rails, her anger, because we've seen her depend on the others there.
Yes, it's like you're in a team of three in tactics. You have
Yeah.
like specific roles.
And then she gets Shakumon to wake up, and then Burpmon vomits out Shakumon, and it evolves into Tylomon. And we get a quick battle. They don't do that well against it. They get beaten up quite quickly. They also seem a bit confused at where they are.
Eh,
And then they try to apologize, and Hodoriko doesn't really accept it. And then she's still upset that like he's showing mercy. It's an interesting thing to see, and I'm curious to see where they will go with it. And
it's hard to say like how much of her rage is from like Makoto's, decisions and needing his friends, and how much is from like, dude, you assholes just pretty much trashed my mom's restaurant. I'm going to have to deal with so much bullshit.
Yeah, but still. Yeah. And then she grabs the babies and both but tosses them to Makoto, saying that's her debt for him helping her. And then uh, this episode really loves its coincidental timing. That is right when Reina and Tomoro show up. So no Sapatama, so they can't get the bounty, but they did save the Digimon. And then we see Makoto helping Hotaruko's mom clean up, and he lets her know, Hotaruko's busy with work. Uh, as he's leaving, she asks him to watch over her and she even
Like,
says,
lady, this is like a whole ass 10-year-old. I don't think
"Yeah."
he's gonna
To be
be
fair,
much help.
to be fair though, as far as she knows, it's a whole ass 10-year-old that somehow works with her, so is apparently competent. And
Yeah.
then we get the scene of Makoto walking off sadly with Trotmon. Um, I think it was a very solid episode. I think generically this is the type of episode that Digimon tends to do best, which is characters talking and learning about each other.
And then a small bit of violence.
Yeah, this one also focuses on the differences between them, or at least the differences that she thinks they have. Uh, I feel like we got the most character building of the of the Tactics members from her in this episode. And I also think it's probably one of the better episode of Beat Breaks just because it defines a character really well through the whole episode.
It works out.
Yeah. And then cast stuff. Ayaka Saito's Berkamon, who she played in Adventure 2020. She was also Pillowmon, Sepikmon, and Guapamon in 2020. She was Mikaru in Eden of the East, Soma in Fruits Basket, Honey in Oran High School Host Club, and in the original web OVA for Azumanga Daioh, she was Chio.
Ah, neat.
Now, did you see who played Burpmon?
I did not.
Megumi Arawa, who has one of the longest lists of Digimon credits. In 02, she's Iori in Armadamon.
Damn.
She's Armadamon in Kizuna and Ode to the Beginning. She's Dracomon in Cross Wars, Kokuamon in Garamon in Ghost Game. In later Dr. Slump content, she was Pisuke. She was Oob in Dragon Ball, Makoto in the original Hell Teacher Noob, Yotaro in World Trigger, and in dumped over content, she's Lampwick in Pinocchio.
Huh.
Uh, and then, are you ready for the weirdest cameo?
Yes.
Makoto Suma was Koemon.
Huh.
She was Koemon in that one episode of Ghost Game.
You know what? I completely forgot Koemon existed in Ghost
And do you
Game.
know why that's a hilarious cameo? Now, Koemon is like nothing in this episode, right? It's just like a quick thing at the beginning.
Yeah, it didn't go anywhere.
Makoto Samura is Takato.
Shit.
So like they brought in Takato for like going eek a few times and throwing. Yeah. Mami
And
Kagetsu
then
was
immediately getting murdered.
Nagisa in her first Digimon. I think this was the mom. Merry
That
Christmas
makes
in One
sense.
Piece, Makin in Burn Up Excess, Izumi in Princess Nine, and Cobalt Claw in Re Cutie Honey.
Huh.
Then for the kids, Eriko Kadokura was Ko. Lots of bit rolls in Adventure 2020 Ghost Game. And Honoka Mitsubachi was Oi. She was Pyokomon in Ghost Game.
Huh.
The very strange collection of cameos in this episode. I feel like the Koemon one's the weirdest one, though, because Koemon doesn't really do anything. It's a weird.
Yeah, it's like you could have just used it with sound effects.
You brought back Takado's episode to like make a few similar noises to one that she did. At this point, it probably would have been 4 years ago.
Maybe she was just in the studio and they're like, "Oh hey, what's up?"
No, I feel like that can't have been because they would have already animated it. It's just an interesting little cameo. And then next time is episode 18, The Price of Freedom. You gotta hope
I'm
there's
looking forward to this one.
not a Pokemon in the episode.
Yeah, he's gonna eat shit immediately. Oh wait, oh god, what if they do the same thing to Terriermon Assistant?
We'll see. And then uh, so interesting last minute reveal. On Saturday morning, they announced that episodes 6 through 10 of the Digimon Beatbreak English dub would be up that night. And they are. Although weirdly, it was not the same time they did episodes 1 through 5. They actually went up at the same time as the new episode. So up through episode 10's dubbed on Crunchyroll. I'm going to wait until I have free time to watch it rather than trying to power through it all at once. So hopefully later this week.
Yeah, I absolutely will not be able to see it for like at least 2 weeks just because crazy preparation for convention and also
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it's like, okay, they're gonna be up. I'm very busy. I will enjoy them once I have the free time, rather than just like trying to rush through them while doing other stuff in the background. And then we get a new versus image. This one's Makoto versus Hodoriko. Is the art on this one really fucking good?
Basically all of them except for Kyo and Gigasmon have looked pretty good.
Yeah, but this one just looks extra good, at least to me. Then we get animation director corrections for episode 16 for Reina, Granite, and Ludomon. We get animation of the scene of them snowboarding down the Himalayas, which I think this is the first place where they actually confirmed where they were.
Yeah.
So it's the Himalayas. I love the line art of the surfing and running down the mountain.
That was really good.
Yeah. Then a line test episode of them returning to the mirror world in the climax of the episode. It had been a solid collection of previews. I've quite enjoyed them for Beat Break. And then new chapter of Liberator. Okay, Dev. So we start with the nice Yuki and Shoto moment, which I quite like. But am I wrong, or was the entire setup for this moment just that one chapter like 2 months ago?
Yeah, it absolutely was.
Okay. I'm sitting here going like it feels like they're supposed to have some connection. It's like their main interaction was like 2 months ago, and it's weird. And then Jessmon rushes in. All the novel characters do their neat, cool attack, and all the Digimon from Cross Connectia show up. Cool Boy gets a cool shot without his glasses, and Omegamon's fucking giant.
Yes, like, that's bigger than I kind of imagined
To
it
be
would
fair,
be,
I
size-wise.
I appreciate that they have Arisa ask if Omegamon was always that size. And in my head, I'm like, I keep trying to because it's been so long. I'm like, Omegamon's been in scenes. He's not always on the screen, is he?
I don't remember.
No, neither do I. And then we find out that
I
Omega.
remember us commenting that we barely see him and
Yeah,
Cool Boy together.
yeah. And then the other weird thing, we get the weird twist that Omegamon does not evolve into Omegamon X. Omegamon is a shell around Omegamon X.
I want a fucking toy of that, okay?
No, here's the funny part: is that's not that different than the transforming for Angelmon. Remember where it's the ant where it's like
Yes.
where it's Angelmon? It's just like a Tailmon shell.
Yeah, like the Tailmon's basically like the wings.
And then everyone helps Shoto trying to get to Unchained. And then okay, so here's where I definitely missed something. Xeno's visor had powers.
Um,
I thought they had said they rebuilt Xeno's digital body using parts of an NPC. I didn't. I missed that the visor itself had abilities, or I just am not remembering it.
It's part of his. I think it's just because it's part of his body. It
Okay.
counts as
Okay.
part of
So
an NPC.
okay. So they're saying it's just that it's part. Okay. I thought they were saying the visor itself did stuff. You're saying that it's that it's the digital version of his eyes now or whatever.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
a part, and then a part is good enough.
Okay. That makes more sense than what I thought they were saying. Because I was like, did they say like did they say he was Geordie LaForge and the visor did stuff?
But no, they just
Okay.
happen to. It's like I'm keeping this part,
And
and oh,
then
this part is useful.
they're like, oh, there's one test map that we can trap Unchained to for the match. And like they don't tell you what it is, so it's like, oh, what cool place to be. It's like, oh, it's Shinjuku, which is it's always Shinjuku.
It's always fucking Shinjuku with Digimon.
And then right before we end, we get a neat hero shot of Shoto and Muchomon. I
I
will
love that
say,
Muchomon has been consistently
yeah,
getting
I was gonna say,
so much good attention.
like as much as we've criticized year two, I feel like Muchomon has gotten a lot of great usage, and not just like, oh, Muchomon evolves and attacks and that's cool. I mean like some neat stuff. Like it's just been very impressive
He
to
is a
see.
good penguin boy.
Yeah, I've been very impressed seeing that. And then to be continued. So, do you think chapter 23 is the last one, or do you think they are able to drag it to 24?
I want to say they're probably drag it to 25.
Oh, you're gonna say 25? Okay. So you're gonna say uh, February will be
So two more
23.
epic battles,
So
lots
you're
of Angus, and
so
then
you're gonna say so you're gonna say
25.2 is gonna be like epilogue.
so you're gonna say the it's gonna last through the end of April.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see. Although you're saying you think it's gonna end at 24 and 25 is gonna be like the here's the last chapter epilogue type thing.
That's how I feel, at least with the
Okay.
current pacing that they're using.
Okay, I think that would work. If they were actually still doing battle stuff in 25, I'd be sighing a bit, honestly. And then,
I mean, they need a place to whore out all the cards that are going to be in the next set.
whoa, your headset just completely changed. You had got your audio had gone a bit lower for a while, and now it like fully popped back up, Dev.
That is really weird. Okay.
And then, don't worry though, Dev. It's everyone's favorite topic: fiscal numbers.
Woohoo!
Yeah,
I'm so thrilled.
yeah. So this covers. Um, this is the wrong link. 1 second, I have to go find the correct one for you and me.
Well, it exists on the chart, so Digimon's doing good enough.
There we go. Yeah, okay. I will need to remember to change them the notes before I post them. So the main thing is it's weird. It's doing good. It's not like wildly different though.
It's holding steady.
Well, that's the thing is so this is the third quarter, basically October, November, December. Um, it mentions securing and expanding for One Piece, Dragon Ball, Pretty Cure, Digimon. Digimon was mentioned merchandising and game licensing for outside Japan. Beatbreak's only real mention was Beatbreak has begun and Arc 2 started on January 4th. Time
Yeah.
Stranger coming out was listed,
Okay.
but the actual numbers are interesting because they're definitely way up. But it feels like we were expecting like a crazy jump this time, and they aren't. So domestic licensing in Japan is a decent jump, but less than 100%. And in this case, what I mean is it goes from like 150 to about 212. So
Okay, it's not bad.
no. Then overseas film licensing jumps from It's like 300-ish to a bit under 500. And then overseas licensing jumps about 50% from about 1,000 to 1,400. All very impressive, but not quite as much of a jump as you'd expect. And there's a few reasons for this. The first is, um, remember how the quarter before that we were a bit surprised how well Digimon was doing in a quarter where not much was happening? I would not be surprised
Yes.
if some of that was pre-sales for Beatbreak. And it is possible that Toei has not fully gotten any financials it would get from Time Stranger, since in theory the game had only been out for a couple months by that point. So the next few reports are to watch for, because it went up and that's went up well, not quite the jump that I feel like people were expecting though.
Eh,
But yeah, a significant portion of Digimon at this point is licensing outside Japan. Like last time, if you count film licensing outside Japan, TV, movie licensing, streaming, and product licensing, 90% of Digimon's market is outside Japan at this point.
oh,
Yeah.
more than I expected.
It definitely jumped more and more. It also kind of points out, like, if you went back, 15 years ago, the common refrain would be is whatever they get out of Japan's a bonus. They aren't really that concerned with it. Now it's most of their business for Digimon at least. So
Gotta
it's
love that nostalgia.
yeah. And then Dev, time to get a sip of drink because Cardo Palooza.
No, make them go away.
We okay. First up for Booster Set EX11, a special parallel card for Pyramidimon.
It's cool.
They really need to find more like Pyramidimon's design does not lend itself to like stuff outside of attacking. I like how it's trying to reach for her, but it kind of just looks the same.
Look, its body shape means there's not that much you can do with it, especially getting crammed on something as small as a card.
Yeah. Parallel card for Espimon features Espimon and Altea using their profile art. I was just say here it's art we've
I
seen.
like this one.
Sangomon parallel card is Sangomon and Yao as she appears in year 1 of Liberator. It's actually funny, we have not seen that outfit in a year, have we?
No,
Then Ryugumon gets a special parallel card with the comics art. This is such a good card.
I really love the comic part in the background, just then like the spot coloring on the Digimon itself. I really like
I,
this
I like.
style of
I
card.
really like this one because it feels like I can remember these panels happening in Liberator.
It's really good.
Yeah. Yuki Darumon slash Frigimon. It's them and Suzune.
Basic.
Yeah, same profile art. I like that they're doing them for all of them.
Yeah.
McQueenamon gets one with McQueenamon and Unchained.
I want this card.
So I like the card. I feel like I would like it more if McQueenamon was doing something.
It's just standing there
Yeah, that's my one issue
or
with it.
floating there ominously or
Zafagabon gets a really cool action card of it, kind of like doing a flying jump leap. And I love that it's not just Shoto, it's also Muchomon.
yes.
It's so good. Then Terramon gets one with Shoto.
Yep.
God, we have not seen that outfit in a while either. And
Come back
then
for revenge.
and then they reveal Vortextramon with a normal card, a parallel alt card, and a Panorama Special 2 set of cards with X McQueenamon. So this is the first time we've seen this
Gee, I
Digimon.
wonder what card's gonna show up in the next Liberator chapter.
So what's interesting is this. I'm not sure how I feel about this design because they want it to be a bird, they want it to be a dragon, but also if you do the close up of the face from the profile shot, they really want it to look like Terramon.
You know what it looks a lot like? It looks like Kagutsuchi from My Hime.
See, I was gonna say it looks like I can't remember the Transformer I'm thinking of. My brain wants to say the Fallen, but that's not who I'm thinking of. Where it has like the mouth guard, but the mouth guard doesn't really do anything because the mouth isn't really positioned there.
Huh.
All very nice art though.
It looks cool,
And then
but
we
I
start
need to see like more
more,
angles of it
yeah,
too.
same. And then we start getting previews of Booster Set ADO1 Advanced Booster Digimon Generation. We start with new anime art of Greymon and Garurumon.
It's like if you told me this was a screenshot out of 2020, I wouldn't have
I'll,
corrected you.
yeah, I'll be honest. At first, I thought it was a screenshot from Kizuna. And I'm like, oh no, this
Hmm.
is new art. And then at some point, someone's going to correct me going, no, this is from 2020. Then we get reprints for Vmon and Wormmon, and both also get gold foil border variants.
I like the Wormmon.
I do too, but there's no real changes with these cards, unfortunately.
It's slightly sparklier.
Then we get the same with Geo Greymon and Rise Greymon. I like the Rise Greymon one. And then, Dev, new cards. A triple tamer card for Tomoki, Takuya, and Izumi. So we get them posing cool. And then we get a parallel card that also has Kaiser Greymon. I really like the art from these.
It's a bit busy, but I mean, that's what happens when you're cramming multiple characters onto one card.
See, here's the thing, Dev. This is a great start to anime art for the year because this is later this year is the 5th anniversary of that Tamer's Christmas art.
Jesus Christ.
And it's another
No.
it's another Tamer's anniversary year. So this is a big 5-year anniversary for Tamers. They can make up for that because that has honestly been like the worst art we've seen for when they've done new art of the kids. So this is a good
It
start.
is a curse that will not be lifted.
Hey, it could be. We could get Tamer's art this good as this Frontier art. So it might be good. We'll see. And then we get reprints for Gilmon, Gilmon X, Megalogromon, and Megalogromon X. Neat they're getting reprints. Nothing to really say about them, though. We've seen them all.
Yep. But
Uh,
dinosaurs.
yeah. And then Card Battle does an EX11 match, along with showing off the finish of the various Digimon with their partner cards. And I believe you were correct. I thought these were just going to be gold foil on the gold parts. You are correct. They actually are like a metallic hollow finish, all of them. So yeah,
Yay!
you called that one. And then another card battle with the same theme for EX11 and showing off the comic cards, which the special parallel cards we already got photo previews of them, but nice to have another set
Yeah.
because they always look good. And then, Dev, do you like acrylic stands?
Occasionally.
Do you like the idea of Digimon acrylic stands that actually have like a diorama formation? You can do whatever you want with them.
That seems really cool.
Does it seem really cool if there's going to be 80 different stands done via gacha?
Fuck that.
Did you see the actual formation they're doing? It's cartoonishly ludicrous.
Yeah.
Each volume,
It's like
so each volume,
so fucking many.
each one's 40 stands, 20 normal stands, and then the same 20 stands but hollow reflective. And let's see what the current exchange rate is, ignoring intermediaries. 880 yen, $2. These are $5.50 each.
But still, like
No, but I'm saying,
if it was like
but what I'm saying is if you want to collect them all, meaning if you had perfect gotcha luck, it would be over $400.
yeah, no. No, no, no,
And
no,
since
no.
someone about the cards asked, all the reprints were ADO1. Yeah, here's the thing. I love the idea of this. It is too much. It is ludicrously. It's fucking insane.
Look, if this was like a pop-up shop based on the original V pets and you could just like pick them out, sure, sounds great. But having that many
And have them be
as part of
gotcha,
like,
it's too much. Like, ludicrously so.
yeah, normally with gotcha sets, there's somewhere between like around like 10 to 12 designs. This
Yeah.
is like 4 times
This
that.
is
That's
80 between two. Here's what I would say would be reasonable. Ignore. Okay, so it's 550 each. It's gotcha. If, like you said, do pop up shop, make them 7 each, and you can just pick. But
yeah. Because people are
but
going to pick
yeah,
out like their favorite Digimon's like
yeah.
evolution line or
Or
that they
or
got in the V pet
or
or
how about
whatever.
this? The 20 normal ones are normal, and the hollow foil ones are all gotcha. How about that?
That could work.
If you just want the
Like, hey, you want something sparkly?
yeah, if you want the normal ones,
Chill
you
out for
if
it.
you want the normal ones, you can just buy it. If you want the sparkly ones, that is rip off gotcha. It's too much. Because here's the thing. Let's say you only want stuff from one of the gotcha sets, so you don't even need both. You're still talking about 40. And
Yeah.
if you only want one character, that's still odds 2 out of 40. That's 1 out of 20. That's psychotic.
Yeah, it's still trash.
I'm also a little surprised that the starter stand is basically $20 and minus the faceplate, you'd think it would come with like an actual like one or two actual stands as a bonus.
Yeah, no, apparently
The
they just
bonus
hate you and want your money.
the bonus is it comes with a logo. I like that it comes with the logo, but that should not be like the actual stand it comes with. That should be a bonus. Yeah, this is just if you can get something
Actually,
single,
you know what would have been good?
what
If they had essentially like an acrylic frame that was the actual Digital Monster V pet itself with like the cutout clear, and then behind it you could put whatever
I have
Digimon you
see,
wanted.
I have to be honest. Because like version 1 is heavily based around the V1, version 2 is heavily based around the V2. I kind of just assumed they would have more of the stands and then they would theme them after the V pets. I kind of just assumed that was coming in some form, but this seems. I'm not saying this is a terrible idea. I'm sure it's gonna make money, but this is like this is
Evie?
yeah, it's Stevie of the highest level. It's just like you,
Well,
it's too much.
yeah.
What isn't too much, at least in one form, is the Real Data Collection. They announced a new figure series, and they showed off the first figure, just Tyrannomon.
It looks really fucking good.
Really nice
And
figure.
also, it was like a lot bigger than I thought it
Yeah,
would be.
because I think everyone's very used to the really not the cheap, nice gotcha one from 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like the price. It's not the price is a bit much. It's a bit much if they're actually going to keep doing these. Because that comes out to about 120 or so. I feel like if they shrunk it a bit to make it more like 100, that would probably be better in the long run for people who want to collect them. Although I think starting with Tyrannomon's smart, because Tyrannomon's popular, but it's not sellout popular. So it lets them know what demand actually is. Because when you start with Omegamon, you're going to sell out every time.
Yeah. Because Megamon prints money.
Yeah. Uh, really, really solid work on this one, though. Who would you, if they continue to line dev, who would you like to see next?
Well, I assume they're going with original Digital Monster. Mm.
It's hard to say because we're also like a year away from an anniversary, and that may be when you'd want to do that.
Maybe it feels like whatever Digimon are in the All the Digimon Mall campaign, those feel like pretty good candidates.
That's actually a good one. Oh, see, that'd be cool to have the next one be Geckomon.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Yeah, that'd be a solid choice.
Or if they did Impmon, since they're using the original profile art as inspiration, it would be cool if they did like the fire and ice balls as like clear resin, and then you could put lights in them.
I feel like something Impmon-ish did that. I feel like I remember something with Impmon doing that. Was there like an Impmon nightlight or clock?
I don't think so.
Okay, I'm probably just misremembering that. I like vaguely recall there being like an Impmon one where he had the two orbs. Yeah. And moving on from the figure, new poll, which is part 2 of the favorite Digimon add to the reference book in 2025.
Ah, I forgot to vote in the first one. Dang it.
The selection here is very wide. I'm trying to decide who do I think will win. If I look at them all,
It's a really hard choice because
I feel like this one's wide open to some degree.
you have the Beatbreak ones, you have like V-Tamer nostalgia with Parallelmon, you have the Time Stranger ones, and then you have like the adorable precious babies from the new V-Pets.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't even know where to guess for this one, to be honest. There is
The
such a
puppy is so cute.
the, see the problem here, Dev, is you actually have to clarify which puppy because there's a number of them. Like
The
even
V-Pet puppy.
Wankomon.
Yes.
Yeah, this one is a very interesting one, and I'm looking forward to seeing. But yeah, and we can expect they'll also do a combined results.
Yeah.
And then moving on to the weekend post,
So much.
January 29th was Wada Koji's birthday. So we got a few posts. One was Volcano Odo showing that he still had a 2014 wristband from a Wada Koji concert. It had broken at some point, and he repaired it to make it a workable wristband again.
Oh, I'm glad he was able to fix it.
He noted that he was very happy that the break was not where the text was. Digimon music producer noted that Butterfly became a song loved throughout the world, and it was Wada Koji's singing and voice that made it happen. He hopes the song continues to connect with people, and he wonders what it would be like if they could still hear him now. The tribute concert account did wish the same.
Uh,
I still think Volcano Oda always comes up with the neatest stuff for his birthday.
he did a good job.
Yep. Uh, and then Kozo Shioya passed around January 20th due to cerebral hemorrhage. He had a number of Digimon roles, probably most notably in Cross Wars, and 2020 he was Olegmon.
Oh, it's a shame.
He was also Tonosama Gekomon in 2020, and in Ghost Game he was the Blue Oboromon. His non-Digimon roles are probably where his best known role was probably that he was Majin Buu in Dragon Ball. Would you like to know some of his dubbed over roles, Dev?
Yes.
In the dubbed over Power Rangers, he was Bulk.
Oh, hell yeah.
He was Newman in Seinfeld,
Hmm.
and he was Paul Blart. Yeah, I left that one for last because that one just
Look, I've never even watched that full movie, but I've seen enough clips of it
to
to
understand.
get, yeah.
Ayumi Miyazaki posted more photos from the 2026 Strength Japanese Anime Concert Tour in Malaysia. Uh, Also photos with him with some of the other guests, Riko Matsumoto, Yoko Takahashi, Hiroshi Kitanda, and Flo. Some very nice photos there. Then the Toei Anime Museum posted a few photos. Put up a poster of the tactics art for Beat Break and showed off some of their Beat Break stuff, including the Otadama plushies.
I want the fucking Otodamas.
Which one do you want the most of?
I want Chirapmon. I want the Bat Baby.
I'm trying to decide which one I think looks the best. I'm trying to think, does anything look better than Gekomon with the blep?
Yeah, Pristymon is really spot on, just looking grumpy.
It is. I just for some reason the Gekomon with the blep, because here's the thing, I don't think Gekomon works that well with that shape. Like doing the flat face, and they made it work. And then we get some card game art. This time it is for Yuki and Ipmon basically saying bye to Cross Connecting coming to Lacuna. Do you like how Ipmon looks like a fucking gremlin in this?
Absolutely. God, what? There's like a comic with that exact art style that uses like that for the eyes, and I'm trying to place it, but my brain is not pulling it up.
Yeah, mine's doing the same. And then we get some art from the Liberator stuff. Usagi Bochi did a nice profile shot of Omegamon X. And Tomo01 did Omegamon X doing. This feels like a very familiar Omegamon pose, doesn't it? Someone's getting stabbed. And then it got retweeted, posted so much. They later posted a version without all the text so people could use it for wallpapers and stuff since people had liked it. It's very
Oh,
nice.
that's very nice of them.
Yeah. February art is starting today, February 1st. The Digimon begin their training camp. The effort from their training will decide the outcome of the battles that unfold during the year. Leomon and Bulkmon, proud of their strength, pull the heavy Locomon for weight training. Keep at it. Power. So I like this one, but this falls into like the Grap Leomon one, which is it doesn't really feel like it represents the month.
Yeah,
Although this one's actually at least good art. The problem with the Grapleomon was it just looked like a random piece of art of him.
and I'm glad it got last place in the last poll.
Yeah, this one feels like it's going to be low for the
Yeah.
2026 one. And then Beatbreak art for the episode. So first up for the new episode, we get Night Trotmon from Takiro Kojima, who's the character designer, and Akamini Aki drew Hodokura. I like how like the point of the art appears to be to make her look like she's being reserved but also actiony. And then a few pieces of art for episode 16 last week that got missed. Jordan Bays did a Shikishi of Gekomon. That's such good art. Does it remind you of the Garfield sticky thing?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, good. I thought I was imagining that. And then DK Digimon also worked in the episode. They put up art of Wolvermon and Reina running down the mountain.
I think that was my favorite one of the set for today.
I would agree, just because it really is good dynamic art of both of them. And like, is it funny because like Reina is supposed to be like on Wolvermon's back, but they also give her like an action pose, and it looks really good.
I guess she's just holding on by the fluff of Wolvermon's neck, and just her legs are flying away behind her.
Yeah, it works really good. And then time for questions from chat, and we'll start with the ones we sent ahead of time. Someone asked, thinking about what you guys were talking about with the Time Stranger DLC not feeling fulfilling, I was wondering, additional Digimon aside, do you think they could do an hour story and have it feel good if they decide to do more DLC? The answer is yes, but it feels like they wanted the DLC to stand outside of the story so that no matter when you played it would make sense. I feel like if you're gonna do DLC like that where it's like an hour, it needs to expand on something from the game and not just, oh, this is an alternate character so it's completely different and blah blah blah. Like I think if you do an hour story of Hiroko or an hour story of whoever, it can work, but it has to like feel like it matters.
Like, make it at least vaguely relevant.
Yeah. I feel like the reason it doesn't feel relevant is because it's a different version of them that can't it just makes you go, eh. Then Stark asks, what's your one big hope for Digimon in 2026?
Give me more plushies, you fuckers.
Plushies. I also would not mind if the year calms down a bit. because it feels like the last few months, like new game, great. Then we start getting the DLC. Then we're getting Beatbreak. Then we're getting the Beatbreak dub. Then the Ghost Game dub pops up. I
Yeah,
I
it is a
I,
lot.
I would like,
Mostly because we do news.
yeah, I would like things to feel more focused in not all being in like a short period of a few weeks.
Only for our sake because we do news.
That too. Um, I would also like to see the few shows that do not have good home video releases to get them. Like, I am not a big Savers fan, but I would like Savers fans to get their Blu-ray box in Japan. We know Ghost Game's getting one. Uh, Appmon and Cross Wars have HD masters. It would be nice if they would get boxes.
God, I would kill for a Cross Wars box set.
I would love one. Then someone said, since it's come up before, I was curious how you decided which VTubers to watch. There are so many. I believe me and Dev both do the same thing, which is we just look at clip names and we
Yeah,
throw clips at
sometimes
each
it's just
other.
it randomly. Yep,
Yeah,
it just shows up and it's like, haha, this is funny, and then we just look at another related
yeah.
clip.
And like generically, like we know the people who will be interested in who because we've seen them in clips. I don't think either of us actually spend much time like, oh, they're streaming. I'm going to watch the whole stream.
Yeah, definitely not. Like occasionally one or two will be streaming
Yeah,
and I'll pop in for like maybe 10 or 15 minutes while I'm,
yeah,
just have it on in the background while I'm doing something else like
yeah,
cooking dinner
yeah.
or
Most
cleaning or
most
whatever.
of ours are clips or clip packages. Or while we're doing other stuff, just having music playlist on. That sort
Yeah,
of
pretty
thing.
much.
Someone said, "What's your favorite Olympus 12 member?"
Mm,
See, I'm pulling them up just to see. Like, uh,
I mean, aesthetically, I
okay,
kind of
okay.
don't
I
really.
guess the question is for your question, do you mean Olympus 12 generically, or like Olympus 12 as they appear in Time Stranger or fiction? Do you just mean like which of the Digimon do we like the most? We'll give them a minute to answer that while we kind of think about our answers here. Oh, they mean both. Generically, I'm gonna cheat and say Grace Novamon, just because big blow uppy one, good. As for In Time Stranger, I feel like something like it'd be.
Mm,
I'm just like thinking probably Minervamon or Neptunemon, just someone who has an actual, to some degree, interesting. Like Neptunemon was one of the more interesting ones in the game.
huh. I mean, it's hard to say. I don't really care that much for them in general, but probably Dianamon or Sarismon.
Yeah, those ones make sense. Any specific reason or just whatever?
Um, I really, really liked Digimon Story Moonlight, so
Okay,
hell yes, Lunamon evolution line, and Sarismon because wow, that's a cool giant earth bird.
that makes sense. When do you think we'll start seeing anniversary merchandise and news for all the stuff you've mentioned having big anniversaries this year? I feel like the universal answer
March,
here is
maybe?
Digimon Con.
That is in March, right? Or am I hallucinating?
Late March, I think,
Oh, okay.
because that is also like weeks before the anniversaries actually start up. So yeah, March. Let's see.
Mm.
What evolution do you guys think if we could get in a new game or Groundhog Digimon? I I
I would like to.
I can't think of evolutions, but do a Groundhog Digimon that has like a time loop power.
Ah, shit, you beat me to it because I was about to say that.
That's all that comes to mind for Groundhog Digimon, to be honest.
Wait,
That's
also one that is impervious to explosives.
that too. Then someone asked, for newer RPG players, what do you think is a good game to try after Time Stranger Digimon or not?
Um,
Would, would
for
you like
new RPG players.
would you like a bad example first, Dev? I think you know the one I'm going to go with because I've talked about it in the last 2 days. So, have you played Final Fantasy VII Remake?
No, I have not.
Okay, so if there's a site that keeps track of how long games are to play on average. The main story of Final Fantasy VII Remake is 32 and a half hours, and to be a completionist is 86 hours. That's long, but that's a good length for a JRPG. Would you agree?
I was gonna say that sounds about average for a JRPG.
Now, the original PS1 version of Dragon Quest VII,
Oh my god.
the main story is 108 hours. Being a completionist is 266 hours. Do you know how fucking absurd the game is to actually play? Because I remember it. It is so absurd, Dev, that the remake coming out in a few days is called Reimagined because they're stripping it down to not make it so unwieldy, and no one who plays the original game is complaining about it. The only people complaining are the people going, the game's censored, and everyone who's played the game is like, no, man, you don't understand. The game does not respect your fucking time at all. Like, it is a patently absurd game to try to play. It's not, like, it's an amazingly fun game, but you know when something just will not fucking end?
Yes,
That is Dragon
like my
Quest
work
VII.
shift.
That is Dragon Quest VII. The main storyline is longer than doing everything in Final Fantasy VII Remake, and that is not a short fucking game.
Guess that's not something you're speed running.
No. In fact, I've looked at the speedruns. The quickest ones, like the any percent, are still like 12, 13, 14 hours.
For fuck's sake.
So not that one. The remake coming out might be a good sort of one. I still heavily recommend stuff like Final Fantasy VII Remake, Dragon Quest XI. Just like stuff you can find cheap and that's really good is what I would recommend.
Also, the Tales of games are generally pretty good, especially like story wise.
They are,
That
but
and
so many have been popping out lately, it feels like it's harder to recommend.
well, some of the older ones, like
Yeah.
the remakes and ports, like they're going to be cheap. They're kind of like easy to get into, and for the most part, a bunch of them have like accompanying manga or anime. If you just get tired of actually playing the game, you can just get a pretty good gauge of the actual series by taking a look at that.
Okay, here's a good one. Dev from It's Cozy. Least favorite name change as in like Raydramon to Lydramon.
Uh,
I think my least favorite one is one that I don't necessarily mind it because I get like the point, but I just never use it unless I'm specifically writing out dub names, which is Omnimon.
like I don't like Omnimon, but also I hate almost all of the Frontier ones even more
See,
because
see, I don't hate the Frontier ones. My sense are so different, but I also get the point in that they were exotic sounding names in Japan, so they kind of like transliterated that idea. If that makes
into
sense.
fucking gibberish.
I wouldn't say gibberish, but I get your point.
Fucking Cory Kakumon.
Then the last one that was sent in ahead of time. How does it feel like Beatbreak is being received from your perspective? It feels like if you ignore the people just like going its peak every week, I don't really feel like it's getting much traction, to be honest.
Oh, my friends who've watched it like it a lot, so I mean, that's all I really give a shit about.
Yeah, people are watching it or enjoying it. I yeah, I don't feel like it's getting the type of traction fans want it to, is what I mean.
Look, it's never going to be adventure.
Yeah, then that's sort of what it falls into. Let's see. Someone said, how many Greek Rome type Digimon do you think they'd add to a new game? I feel like after doing the Olympus 12, that will not be a priority, to be honest. Like that is the theme of that game to some degree.
Yeah.
And then, would we like to see new Burpmon evolutions? I feel like Burpmon works well just being like a standalone dude.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those, well, you either fucked up a lot or you went out of your way to get this.
Yeah. Okay. That is it for questions. Dev, what Wikimon article would you like people to read?
Uh, Bergamon for being a horrible, violent little bastard this week.
That is a good choice. I can be found at With the Will as always. Dev, since we had talked about, if this week was going to have a different time or everything, how did all the snow end up being out there?
We got about like 16 inches, but we didn't get the second wave of snow. It kind of went a little bit further south and completely fucked like 3 states below us. So,
Okay, so
yay!
not that bad for you.
No, no, it was just
Okay,
I'm still completely buried in snow, but it did not affect the
internet.
power lines at least.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Well, I expect we will be back here next Monday, probably. Thank you everyone for showing up. We will catch you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.